Yo, YouTube is Anarchist of Darkness, also known as Sir Killington of Colorstruck, also known as WWE Black, and you're about to get a duo video. That's right, you're about to get the WWE talk and Sir Killington of Colorstruck. I got into an argument today with some guy on Twitter. Now, I'm going to send this video. Hopefully you watch the video, you don't just click on the video, or you don't just block me again, or block my other Twitter account. Hopefully you don't. Hopefully you watch this video so I can teach you something. Now, a lot of people think racism, I'm looking at you, a lot of people think racism is just somebody calling me a nigger, or calling somebody a chink or wetback. Now, that's not what racism is. Racism has a long history in this country, and for a very long time, racism was outward. But because of the stance that the country has taken, the so-called social stance that the country has taken, racism had to be hidden. So what ended up happening is people started becoming unconsciously racist. People started being conditioned to be racist. And what did they use to condition people to become racist? Media. That's what they use to create racism, and that's what pretty much pushes racism right now. I'm not talking about CNN, I'm not talking about just Fox News. I'm talking about all forms of media. So when you turn on the TV and you see a black guy getting chased down the street by cops, and that's all you're seeing on cops, what are you being taught? You're being taught that black people are fucking criminal. They deserve to be chased down by the cops, beat up by the cops. And it's entertaining to see black people suffer. It's the same thing with fucking slave movement. That's all that comes out essentially when it comes to black people. When the class is black, usually everybody in the movie is suffering, unless it's a funny movie. Now, that's what I wanted to teach you. Essentially, there's two different types of racism. There's one that's conscious and there's one that's subconscious. There's one that's called adverse racism. That's the fucking white supremacists calling me a nigger in my fucking feed. That's somebody being, hung. That's the cops stopping you and frisking you, and frisking me, and black people look like me and stuff like that. Implicit racism is somebody making a joke that's supposed to be funny, but it's not. Like assuming that all black people are on welfare, or assuming that all black people are criminal, or assuming all black people listen to rap music, or assuming all black people can dance, or assuming all black people got big dick, assuming all black. These are implicit racism. Some of it can be adverse depending on how it happened. Now, the WWE, a form of media, has had a long history of both adverse and implicit. Now, for the last 20 years, it has stopped being so much adverse and being more implicit. Prime time player. When Big E came in, he was a bodyguard. Former NXT champion, he came in as a bodyguard, whereas Finn Balor came in and he's the first WWE Universal Champion. Just think about stuff like that. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, well, Big E wasn't a pool. Well, when Big E became a pool, when he was an Intercontinental Champion, and that one night when he was sitting on fucking commentary and he was tearing commentary a new asshole, making people laugh, being entertaining, they pulled him off commentary and it never happened again. Until he was in a New Day, of course. Do you understand what we're coming at? Okay, so I made a comment, and I'm not sure if this guy's seen it. I'm pretty sure he didn't see it. He blocked me. Now, if you have a storybook, and in that storybook, all your characters are white. Now, not all your characters, all your good characters, all your characters that you take care of, all the characters, good, bad, protagonist, antagonist, all the best characters in the book are pretty much white. Every once in a while you get a Roman Reigns, which people hate. Every once in a while you get a Roman Reigns. But all the characters who are not white, who are black or non-white, they can't pull themselves up by their bootstraps. They cannot win. They can't do anything for themselves. They're in a dump. What is that book teaching you? It's conditioning you to believe those things about that person or those people who are not white. And that is what the WWE has done. Okay, you pretend like, oh my god, it's a business, it's all about money. Well, let's be real. Sheamus was champ, Miz was champ. Miz was red hot at one point, and then he was champ, and like he fizzled out so bad. It's because at the time he was not a very good wrestler. Let's be real. Alberto Del Rio, as much as I love Alberto Del Rio, wasn't a pool. JBL was not a pool. I can go on for days about wrestlers who were pools and who were not pools, who were WWE champion. I can go and tell you there were about these black characters who may or may have not been racial stereotypes. They never got the chance to be WWE champion, even though they were pulling in money. Booker T was red hot. He had to change himself 3 times to get the World Heavyweight Championship. The original championship he bought over from WCW. Mark Henry had to stop being pretty much a joke and stop being jokey and being a stereotype big angry black man that everybody wanted. The gorilla. That's what some of the WWE fans want. Now, when I say that, I don't mean to just say, hey, WWE is racist and it's only their fault. I don't believe it's just the WWE. I believe it's the fans as well. Because the fans, whenever a non-stereotypical black character comes along, he doesn't get any support. But you throw out a primetime player or crime time, they become hot, like fucking red hot, because they're entertaining. Because white people, mainly who make up most of the WWE universe, 20% black, I think it's like 25% Hispanic, and the rest are pretty much white people. Whenever you get these black characters, Shelton Benjamin, who wasn't a stereo fucking type, he probably should have been at least world heavyweight champion. He was fucking red hot. What happened with him? Booker T, I already mentioned him. Mark Henry was a world heavyweight champion. Booker T, world heavyweight champion. MVP was kind of a stereotype, but he was in between. Nothing happened with him. Gave him a losing streak, just like Shelton Benjamin. He fucking fizzled out. You know, Shelton Benjamin was the only reason why most people were watching those Money in the Bank matches. So you're telling me Shelton Benjamin would not have been a pull if he was WWE champion? I don't believe you. If you showcase these guys the way they should be showcased, Brock Lesnar is a pull. He can't fucking talk. And it's not just because he's a fucking monster. It's because you showcase him the way he needs to be showcased. It's the same thing with black characters. And that doesn't happen. For example, let me just give you this one example and I'm going to be out. Okay, a few months ago, Sami Zayn knocked out Sheamus with that running boot thing that he does. And pinned him 1, 2, 3. Uhaa Nation gets attacked by, I call him Uhaa, you call him Apollo Crews. Uhaa gets attacked by Sheamus, pretty much bitched by Sheamus. He bitches Sheamus back. They have a match and he beats Sheamus by a roll up. So Sami Zayn can beat Sheamus. This is what I'm talking about by implicit racism. Sami Zayn, who's probably not even 200 pounds, can beat brawling Sheamus, no problem, none, nada, beat him, but Apollo Crews cannot. Now Apollo Crews, we haven't seen him cut a promo, none of that. He doesn't have a personality, and that's where Homeboy is right. But has he been given a chance to have a personality, really? No, not really. Not the way it took months or took weeks for the New Day to really set up what they set up, and they essentially got themselves over. And you can pretty much tell by the way they're booked. They got themselves over. The WWE writers had nothing to do with that. Apollo himself, now it goes both ways of Apollo. Apollo, a lot of people want him to go to his Twitter page, go to his Instagram, look in his comments. A lot of people want him to stop smiling, and they want that angry black man that's fucking people up. And these are white people saying it. It's not black people. White people saying it. Saying this to him in his Instagram. You need to stop smiling. The same way they say it to Titus. You need to stop smiling. They want that implicit racism. They want the smasher, right? And to be completely honest, that's what I want too. Okay? I want a serious black character. That's why I'm kind of worried about New Day, because once they lose those titles, I already know what's going to happen to them. Even though they pulled, if not just as much, if not more than the Shield did, even though they jumped out of wrestling and they're in a fucking FYE, I walk into a barbershop and everybody in the barbershop know who New Day is, and none of them watch wrestling. They are mainstream media. So once they drop those titles, I am worried what's going to happen to them, because Big E, or at least Kofi Kingston should be WWE champion or Universal champion. But you probably don't think that because they're not a pull. But you're wrong, because they are a pull. But the same thing happened to Shelton. Shelton was red hot. He had all those fucking great matches with Triple H. All those great fucking matches, they let him fucking fizzle out. He had all those fucking Money in the Bank moment, they let him fizzle out. And I feel like that's what they're going to do with the New Day. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying. Uhaa could not beat Sheamus, straight up. How come it is Sami Zayn could beat Sheamus straight up, but Uhaa cannot? Uhaa had to roll him up. Not hit him with a finisher, not hit him with something that fucks him up, like Sami Zayn did. So it's stuff like that. So when you book that, what are you telling children? What are you telling little black kids? My little brother still watch wrestling, and it affects him. I can tell it affects him. Y'all need to stop thinking just because somebody's saying something racist that they're just making it up. I have absolute proof of WWE's racism. And it doesn't, and as much people like to say, oh, the business aspect and all this other bull crap, and Vince is the decision maker and all this other yada, yada, yada. You have too many examples of guys, black guys, Hispanic guys, and Asian guys who were pulls, but nothing was ever invested into those characters. Tajiri could have been champion. I will say that. Tajiri could have been champion, even if it was for one day. Never happened. Now, I'm scared for Shinsuke Nakamura. I am scared for Kenta Kicks heads. I am scared for those guys. Shinsuke not so much, because I feel like Shinsuke, you can't not make him champion. He's going to go up. He's going to go up to the main roster. He's going to kick some fucking ass. And I can't fucking wait. Same thing with Joe. I can't wait for that. But I'm a black male. I would like to see some of those black males get some shine. So, I am worried for Apollo. I've never really liked Titus because Titus is big and awkward. I've said these all over my videos. And I will continue to keep saying he's big and awkward and his moveset doesn't really work for him. I don't know. Never really cared for Darren Young. They should have just been primetime players and let them work from there. That really didn't work out for them as either. I am worried for New Day because New Day has been 2 years, a year mainly on top. They broke wrestling and now they're mainstream with their cereal. People know what Booty-O's is that don't watch wrestling. I'm worried for them because of implicit racism. Yes, fans and the WWE does it. The WWE, to their credit, it seems like they're trying to get away from it. To their credit. But I feel like the New Day was the New Day's doing and not WWE's doing. They was like, you know what? Let's give them this chance. And they blew it out the water, so the WWE ran with it. They still book them like they need all three of them to win. They still book them that way. Who, as faces, need to be booked that way? Especially when they're red hot, when they don't need it. They didn't do that with certain people. It's stuff like that, man. Like I said, WWE didn't really have any issues with Samoans, but they do have a really big issue with booking Samoans stereotypically too. Same thing with black, Asians, and the Latino people. But I'm saying, anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I hope homeboy watched the entire video. He probably didn't, probably was just like, whatever, and then blocked me. That's fine, I don't give a fuck. I just needed to make this video because people need to understand that racism is in everything in the United States of America. Just about everything. I'm not talking about a white picture and somebody painted white paint on a white canvas and, oh my god, that's fucking racist. No. You turn on the TV and implicit racism or fucking homophobia. Because we live in a society that's built on norms or social norms, or what's like, white people are technically the default people in this country. So black people are not seen as the norm. It's racist. It's an implicit racism. It's not people, when people are using the black card or the race card, it's not always somebody making something up. And when I talk about WWE, I'm not making the shit up. I have years and years of proof. It's right there. $9.99. Go and look for yourselves. It's sad that Booker T had to reinvent himself 3 times just to get a title, just to get his hands on the main event title, even though he was red hot twice before that. Once when he was, actually when he came in, he was red hot as a heel. Even after fucking Stone Cold beat his ass and did the fucking grocery store shit. Anyway, yeah, this video is ending. Anyway, guys, racism sucks. I live with it every day. And I don't like seeing it in the WWE because WWE is one of the only things I watch on TV. I want to give them my money. I want it. I just want to give them my money because it's the only thing that I fucking love. I myself training to become a professional wrestler. I love wrestling. I just don't like seeing racism in it. That's why I talk about it, because it needs to be talked about. Instead of somebody saying, oh, you're just making stuff up. Nobody's making stuff up. I just really hate racism. And this this channel has been here for like fucking 8 years. Okay, I've been talking about this for longer than fucking the WWE network's been around. Anyway, y'all have a good night. Happy birthday to myself. And